Good morning, everyone. Welcome aboard. This is kind of like Bubba's daily update. Sorry I could not do an update yesterday. The timing just did not work out. And of course, I'm not in front of a camera right now, but I will give you what I'm seeing and what I think the possibilities are today. Certainly, when we look at the overall markets, we're seeing a market that is, kind of still rising, still working its way higher, but not doing anything. It's very, very quiet, as we can see by looking at the Dow futures. We continue to see declining volume. We are trying to break out to the upside. I would say that it's all dependent on what's going to happen with the Fed. I think when you understand what they're doing, they're going to hike rates today, but the key will be on whether or not they remain dovish or not. And I would suspect, based on their history, they will remain dovish. They will blow this as they have blown it many times before. So the Dow futures are approaching highs, trying to break out of recent highs. This morning at 6:19 Eastern, we're up a little bit. The S&P, very similar, approaching tops, and the NASDAQ, the same. Of course, the NASDAQ is making new highs, not trying to get to new highs, and the Russell continues to make new highs day after day. Is there something to be concerned about? Well, I don't think so. I think that, as in all markets, these will go higher until they don't. I'm certainly not going to predict a top. We are going to maintain our neutral status and our observation status. It doesn't mean we won't look at individual issues, but gold is continuing to be in consolidation. I would expect gold to break out, and I would expect the breakout to be the upside today. Oil is coming back a little bit from some selling, but it is starting to trend a little bit higher. We think this is probably 67 is probably a great spot to sell it. We definitely look for oil to work its way lower. The grain markets had a big pop yesterday and are a little bit lower this morning. This certainly, we will consider the rally yesterday based on a blow off to the downside. Now the key is, can corn, for example, hold 375? Soybeans look to be in big trouble. One of the things that we would look at is it just keeps going down. Of course, we were concerned at soybeans if they broke 10. Now at some point you're going to see a bounce here, but whether or not that'll be today or not, I would personally stay away, because I'm certainly not going to short them at these levels, but I don't really want to step up and buy them. Wheat looks really good and continues that trend and bounced exactly where it should have. And now it's selling off a little bit today, but again, I'd look for a level to buy probably around 520. The bonds are pretty flat and waiting. Of course, they've already priced in what's going to happen, but my guess is if there's any dovish thought at all, the bonds will, any hawkish talk, the bonds will fall apart. And I think that will be more the case. I think they're trying to fall apart anyways, as we see the 10-year push over 3%. So all in all, I don't see a lot to be excited about. I don't see a lot happening, but if I were to try to predict the action on the Fed, I would expect gold to go higher. I would expect the dollar to continue to go higher. I think the dollar is continuing to try to move higher as it bounced off of support. We remain consistent with our potential black swan event, which is a stronger dollar with stronger interest rates. But again, we're going to sit back and kind of watch out to see what this Fed does, and we will get you an update later tonight. I'll be flying back, and depending on the time I get back, but you will get an update. The only question is what time it will come. But at the end of the day, I don't see a lot to do here in general. certainly I wouldn't mind. I don't have a problem being long gold, short oil, short bonds. But again, I wouldn't do anything too aggressively, because the one key ingredient is the falling VIX. And as long as the VIX keeps falling, it's going to be hard to imagine that there's going to be some sort of major breakdown. Now, again, markets don't announce themselves, so we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, have a great trading day, everybody. And again, sorry I couldn't get an update out, and this is not the ideal part, but for today, it's the best I can do. We'll see you back here tonight at some point. And as always, I thank you. This is Bubba's Daily Update. Todd Bubba Horowitz. We'll see you later.